Hello. Good morning. Time check, it is 11 minutes after 9. This is Women Radio 91 point, I say point. That's the problem, wanting to speak too much English. 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. My name is Fumi Bangala. This is HerLens with the ladies of HerLens, where we're speaking about different topical issues this morning. And this one's that I saw. I'm so ready. Then I'm also ready to not speak about anything Nigeria related. I'm not even going to lie. I'm tired. This morning was really heavy on the daily news review. I was so tired. My heart was heavy. And I want to speak to anyone who's out there who's feeling very, very heavy. Please, first of all, let me send you hugs, the biggest hugs, because Nigeria is turning on its own. And yeah, you have to hold on to something, hold on to God, your support, your community, everything, so that you can, there's light at the end of the tunnel. I believe that strongly. It seems really, really bleak right now, but I promise you that there is light at the end of a tunnel. Okay, we are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website, www.wfm917.com. All right, let's get into it. But before then, let me welcome. I have a guest. Is it a guest? I have someone who's going to be doing this with me with the ladies this morning. Raquel, good morning.
Good morning, Fumi. How are you?
She knows why I'm laughing at her, but we're just going to leave it. Raquel is also, she's in women radio, and we're trying to ease her in, right? So we're going to make her feel a little bit welcome this morning. But let's welcome one of the ladies of HerLens. Good morning, Ibn Abo. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, Lady Fumi J. Good morning to Raquel. Good morning to all our valued listeners. It's great to be here. Thank you.
It's great to be here. That's right. The first thing we're going to be talking about, did you get the chance to watch that video?
Which video? The one of the lady?
Yeah, the one of the lady, the story. Okay, let me just give our people an overview. So on one of the blogs that I follow, somebody had met up with a friend, and they are well to do, they're comfortable, at least from what I gathered. But then the husband hit a snag, he's out of a job, so he's unable to provide for his family. Now, the woman was telling this other lady who was telling the story that she has decided that she's not going to spoil her husband, though. So her husband is out of a job, he cannot do anything. Yet, the wife is refusing to do the things in the house. So, for instance, the things that the man used to provide for in the house, she said she doesn't want to. She kept on hammering, no, I will not spoil my husband. No, I will not spoil my husband. That was number one. To the extent of which, to which her children are in good schools. She took the children out of good schools and put them in cheaper schools that maybe the man can afford, or she can afford, even though she could afford the fees of that former school. That's number two. Number three is that she said that she cooks the barest minimum. So before she gets to the house, she makes sure that she has eaten. She takes herself to the finest restaurant to eat, and eat well, belly full, right? When she has now done that, she'll now go home and maybe just give her children Gary to drink or something like that. And the lady, if I kept on saying, like, do you know this man? She goes, no, that she now asked her that when he was working and he was okay, did he provide for you? Yes, he provided for her, spoiled her silly. But now that the chips are down for the man, she's like, I'm sorry, you're on your own. Raquel, let me hear your thoughts before we move to
I'm shocked
because I don't think this is happening these days. Here's the thing: the flip side to this conversation is that we also have seen many men who have been out of jobs and relied on their wives for everything, to the extent that they refuse to now get a job. Right, we've treated those kind of stories even on here. They're comfortable that she's on shoulder responsibility, yeah, so let her carry on. We've seen this time and time again. So it is possible. I'm daring to play the devil's advocate that maybe she's like, do you know what? Based off of maybe the experiences that she's had in her own personal life, or maybe she has heard someone's story that maybe a friend whose husband was well to do and then lost his job and they refused. We've seen men who quote unquote refused to get a job because their wives were able to shoulder the responsibility of the house. Some people will tell you that they've seen men that have refused to apply for jobs, and then the woman now becomes the sole breadwinner, sole provider of the house, while the man is just staying at home. So those are the two sides. So this side I just said is what some people are saying, that could that be why? But yes, let's hear your thoughts on this.
Oh my god. Okay, this story is really, really funny in the sense that, I mean, when this man was working, right, from the story you've told, right, this man was providing, doing all of the things a father should do, husband should do, and the likes, right? So now I think, marriage, right, is some sort of togetherness,
Mhm.
right? Scratch my back, I scratch your back, so to speak, right? So now you are in the position that you're supposed to be doing what the man was doing. You're supposed to put in your all, right? Okay, let's even leave the man part, the husband's part, because you've heard and you've seen a lot of things and you're scared. You don't want to give it to your horse so that you don't get hurt in the process. But you have children. You should consider your children. Going out to take care of yourself and just neglecting your children is, I mean, you be happy or mom. I bet it's come for you, but hey, you're a mother, right?
Mhm.
So you should at least have that love for your children first, right? Irrespective of what you've heard, the trauma you've had, just the fear you have within, right? You should not rub that on your children. No, I don't agree on that. I really do not agree on that, right? So my take is, I don't know what, I don't know I don't know where or why she's thinking or acting that way, right? Personally, for me, I wouldn't do that if I was in that shoe.
Mhm.
I would not do that because I mean, I love my husband and he was providing when everything was going so fine. So why would I want to, act strange to him? So no, I don't really and totally agree with what the woman is doing. Yeah.
If it was, oh, we have a call already. That was fast. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost that call. Please do also call us 07000 or 0800 Tell us what you think. What do you think the woman was doing too much by saying, "Oh no, I'm sorry, everybody should carry your bukata by yourself, regardless." Yeah. Over to you, Ibn Abo.
Okay. Oh God. Okay, so for me, I always believe in one thing, and that is one good turn deserves another. Whether there are children involved,
Hi, Ibn Abo. We cannot hear you any longer. Hi, Binabo. We cannot hear you. Is it me? No, it's not me. It's the network. I think we might be having technical issues with Ibinabo. Ibinabo, maybe log out and log back in because yeah, the internet is not interneting. For me, as someone who has lived this, I've seen my parents, also go through this experience. I can tell you for free that um I will blame the society, number one, because society has made it seem like the man is the job. This is like gender roles. The job of the man is to provide, the job of the woman is to take care of the family. So whenever something happens to the husband, what you find or what you see is that the woman just says, well, I don't care. Like, it's your job to provide. We've also seen this in the sense of that's popular saying, your money is our my money is my money, your money is our money. That's it. And I think that mentality has also propagated this kind of scenario, because if you're thinking that your money is your money but your husband's money is our money, then where is the place of what you just said now? I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Both of us are coming together, you know, to um form a union. So why are you leaving me out there in
Out
the
of it,
cold, so to
yeah.
speak? Hi, Binaba, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So I was saying that one good turn deserves another. Somebody has done something good for you in the past. And if the opportunity comes that you should
Hi, Binabo. We can the network is networking. It's seizing as you're speaking. Oh lordy,
you should
we can't. We
let me change.
Okay, we'll wait for you to change. Okay, she's left and she's gonna come back. So as I was saying, um yeah, I was saying, like, so gender roles are there, your money my money, that's thing that we all say, we say jokingly, but a lot of us are actually believing it, like, no, sorry, we're not sharing money over here. And because of that, what you find is women carry that mentality into their husbands' homes when they get married, and they're thinking, oh no, sorry, you're the provider, so provide. And I'm not saying this as someone who how do I say this in a way that pleases God? I'm not saying this in an insensitive manner, because I also understand that women shoulder a lot of responsibility, and childbearing, taking care of the family is not a walk in the park. I don't think that any any figure can match what a woman does, financially. So that one is there. I'm just saying, in the sense of when you're getting married, right? What's the mentality that you carry into the marriage?
Yeah.
That is what is causing this scenario. Also, trauma is very, very loud. So when you've been traumatized either by personal situation, maybe you saw your mom work like a dog for your dad who was just at home, or maybe it was not direct, maybe it was an uncle, maybe it was an auntie, maybe it could be a friend,
Yeah.
right? A cousin, and you saw it happen, and you're like, lie me, lie
So
me.
as you're talking, I'm trying to something is coming to my 'cause
Yeah.
when I schooled in Delso, right? Then I schooled I did my pre-degree in Delso, then I transitioned into Ozoro. And there's I don't want to call it tribe, right? There's a particular tribe, right, that the men don't work.
Oh yeah, I know.
The women I'm going to I'm always seeing the women on bicycles going to the farm,
Yeah.
carrying what's it called now, carrying woods on their head,
Yeah.
doing all of the work. Now imagine a lady coming up from that particular setting. So automatically she's already carrying that load. Like, okay, but I'm going to the marriage, I'm going to be the one providing this. Like, do you understand? So that mentality is already there. So as you mentioned, society also has a key role,
yeah.
of molding people, of us having a particular mindset. So as you're speaking, I just remember there was a flash, and I think there was a girl called Zino there, and she's like, my mom's always every time. I'm like, me, I have mom. My mom is not always calling me to. I'm not always calling my mom to, like, I want to buy tele. My dad is my dad. He said, I know in their own side is the mom. I'm like, oh wow, really? I would love to see this, but thank you, no. But I love the fact that my dad is doing most of the things. But and that has really shaped that, because most of the
Okay, Benabo is back. Hi, Benabo.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. So sorry about the network.
Honestly, I told you, may go fight Mr. Network now, no green answer.
Yeah, so please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I was talking about the mother. I mean, as a mother, then what do we say to single mothers who are the sole provider?
Yeah.
And so you see, a healthy family response to hardship is often one where everyone adjusts together as much as reasonably possible. Now, the man used to provide, he was the sole provider, obviously. And even when he had so much, and when she has a good job, she wasn't really contributing. It is obvious. I mean, she didn't have to say that, because her reaction, her response to this happening in her family is, speaks volume of her personality. You see, the provider may deserve some flexibility, like the person mentioned that she would just treat herself to some sumptuous meal and all of that before going home. So the provider may deserve some flexibility because she is the one carrying a heavy load, but consistently enjoying comforts while intentionally denying the rest of the household is terrible. If you
Yeah.
can, I mean, if you can do this, if she can do this, she doesn't know that gradually it will create resentment and damage the trust the husband has for her. Because if in her mind she feels that I can't spoil him so that he doesn't now become used to me providing and he doesn't want to make any effort again, I don't think a responsible man will just fold his arms and not do anything any longer because he lost his job. A man who has been the sole provider and now loses his job will always go back and look for another job.
Fair.
But while in that, you fill in the gap because the lacuna created by his loss of job that you have now stepped in should be filled. You have a good job. If you are working within your means and your means is nothing close to what he used to provide, it's a different story entirely. But this is a case that you can afford every single penny he could afford when he had his job. So why now drag everybody down to below the standard? Because you want to do what? You want to teach your husband a lesson, or you want to let him know that you can afford to have him go lazy. I don't believe that. I believe she's a very selfish and self-centered woman. If she was reducing expenses because she was afraid the family's finances are probably dwindling or whatever, it's a different case. But here she is. She's been totally unreasonable. She's been very selfish. Even to her children, I can't get over that. You see, now I'm thinking, when I read the story, I told myself, I said, okay, what if she's acting from a past event, that probably traumatized her? That for me is a point to note as well. Because you see, we generally do not understand how trauma deals with us. Sometimes you do not even know that you are acting under the influence of that trauma.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because I remember we discussed a story about a couple that the woman was, putting so many structures in place and her husband didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, that
And when
happens a lot.
yes, when he got to know about it, from her response, we realized that she was operating from a point of trauma from what happened to her mom, how her mom took care of her father, took care of everybody, she wasn't selfish with her money. And then suddenly something happened to the mother and she needed the father's support and it was nowhere to be found. And that was how her mother's life ended. That was a huge trauma on that lady. You understand? So we don't know the place this woman is operating from, but we're talking about your children here. I mean, whether in the past or in the present, mothers they are known to feel the pulse of the child more than the father because he's always around. She's mostly available more than the father. You see, for me, I feel that even if she's operating from a place of trauma, this is a bit too much. This is a bit too much. You are treating a man who treated you so kindly. You are paying him back in a different coin. This is not right. For me, in conclusion, I would say that a major change in economic responsibility can really pull to the fore, your real person, your real nature, as it pertains to taking responsibility, which entails giving and giving. I recall that and I think I've mentioned it before, when we are discussing, if I'd been through something or I've had a story that could be tied to the topic, I will tell you. My mother was always filling the gap for my dad. I never knew, the children, we never knew. until we grew older, and in the course of conversation with my dad, he mentioned it. And I was shocked. I thought I had a CBN for a father, because there was never a moment that we were broke in the house. We were always having what my parents provided. We were always having all of these things. And my father was one always, seemingly always providing. You understand? So when my father mentioned it, I was shocked. We were all like, and my mother never mentioned it. So you see, I grew up from such a background. So I will live that life with my husband and my children. So I begin to wonder what kind of background she grew up. How did she grow up? What was her background like? That was why I had to go back to thinking that probably she is operating from a place of trauma, which even at that, there is this, lacing of selfishness around our action. And this shows that some couples do not treat each other as teammates. As a couple, you are teammates. A woman who truly has the means to maintain a reasonable standard for the family, but she chooses not to, while she indulges herself, shows a breakdown in mutual care and shared sacrifice for me. There is no other interpretation to this, because I always believe in one good turn deserves another. Even in some cases, when the man had not been so kind, and then he has lost his job, and you have to step in, even if you are going to lean the food in the house, if you are going to make adjustments, you should not allow this to be felt by your children, because they are innocent. If you are going to punish your husband because maybe when he had, he didn't give, I wouldn't encourage you to do that. But if you want to go that route, why drag your children in it? It's unfair.
Absolutely.
Because they will remember that when daddy used to be in the picture, they had it good. When mommy came into the picture, everything became like, hey, God help us. So they will remember. So let it not be that tomorrow you will say, upon all the sacrifice, they do not appreciate me. Because they won't forget how you did it. Yoruba people say, Belela Kaolabo. When you sorry has different tones. Your sorry can come across as just please sorry and get lost. Your sorry can come across as, oh, I'm so sorry. And it is laced with,
Yeah.
a lot of empathy and compassion and everything. So please, whatever we do, we are sowing seeds. We are planting. We are all farmers. Our actions, and our inactions are all the seeds we are planting. All of this will sprout. They will blossom, and then we'll begin to reap. So don't mind what you are going to reap tomorrow because of what you are planting today. Don't complain. Thank you.
Wow, well said, Mama Ibn Abo. I mean, everything you said, I absolutely agree with you. But my question is, do you think that gender roles also takes permanence here? Before you went, when you were having technical issues, that was the question I was asking. That you think because they say, oh, the role of the husband is to provide, the role of the wife is to take care of the children, do you think that plays a role? One thing that Raquel said at the beginning was, oh, but marriage is supposed to be, I scratch your back and you scratch my back. Do you think that saying, your money is your money, my money is my money, your money is our money, do you think that also goes? I'm going to ask Raquel first before I go to Ibn Abo. Do you think that also goes a long way to have affected this kind of scenarios? Because, like you rightly said, this happens. We've seen. I remember I was a teenager, maybe. My mom used to have a singles fellowship that she used to run, and one of the women, or was she single, like married? One of them, one of the women would say that she hides money from her husband, and my mom didn't understand it. She was like, because if you hide money from your husband, there's no money at home now, especially if your husband doesn't have. Like, it's not like he can manufacture the money from the sky. And the woman would always say no, that she hides money, that she recommends women hiding money from their husbands, so just so that they're not stranded, which is another conversation entirely, because they say vex money and things like that, so that you want the man doesn't just leave and say, get out of my house, and you don't have anything to fall back on. That's another matter entirely. But Raquel, do you think that this mentality is what has also affected the reason why women go into marriages with I don't want to say an agenda, like they don't go open-minded that, oh, this marriage is me and my husband, because you were friends now before.
Exactly.
Abby?
Exactly. So this issue of money, my money is my money, your money is our money. This is a conversation you need to even have before getting married, because even in the process of dating, right, dating this particular person, you will have seen how they behave when it comes to, giving back. Because we humans, we are wired in the way of taking, and not always want to give back, right? So now moving back to the question you asked, let me use my my mom as an example, right? So my dad is kind of person that in my tribe they call it omogo. Omogo is someone who does favor. And my dad is kind of person, once he goes outside, he spends. Right. So if he has 100,000 naira, maybe 90,000 naira will be outside, 10,000 for the house. And inside the 10,000, it will still ask for, can I get like 5,000 naira from the 10,000
for somebody outside?
Do you understand?
Okay.
So, and there's what my mom used to do, and I when she does that, I think I was late today when she was doing that, I was like, Mom, why are you doing this? Is bad. But when I go to this, I'm like, there's some persons that you can't just give them long rope, in the sense that my mom, when we were in school, I was in secondary school then, when we give my mom the invoice for our school fees, and she'll be like, no, this school fees cannot work up. Let's go back to your school. And she will go back to the school, and
they'll add money.
They will add money. And the reason why she was doing this was because my dad is the kind of person that, like I said, Omogo, he does more for people outside than for us inside. So most people, when they come to our house, they're like, are you enjoying? Are you seeing your dad that bought so simple? And we're like,
sorry, I can't relate.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
And so imagine me now having this kind of setting.
Yeah.
So go into, if I'm someone that is not I don't have a mind of my own, right? And I've been traumatized with what's going on, I will go into my marriage with this particular mindset, regardless of how kind
your
my
husband is. Very true.
You understand? So this my money, your money, I mean, duh.
I mean, let me show you that, because wow, wow. I'm trying to think of my mom. I think my mom too used to keep money when I was younger. I think so.
So the reason why most of them do that is not because, it's because they've seen that, their husband is kind of person that no, we really come when it comes to money, he doesn't.
He's not disciplined with money.
You understand? Let me just extract this one. Let me just keep it somewhere, so that when everywhere is not jive,
so it's not like she's hiding it. She's keeping it for the house.
For the house. Yes.
Okay.
For the house. Yes. So that was what she was doing. And sometimes she hides too, let me just be sincere, right? So the aspect of my money is my money. I don't think it's something nice, because why we use your husband money is our money and your own. Okay, what are you using your money for? If you don't use the money for your house, what are you using your own money for? That's one thing I always ask people. What are you using your own money for?
Yeah.
Why you are saying your husband's money is our money. So your husband's money can be used for your own personal thing, and your own personal money cannot be used for your husband's personal things. I don't think that's right? So what I would just encourage people to do, don't go, irrespective of the situations or circumstances or the, so to speak, setting you find yourself. Always have a good mindset when you're going to marry. Don't go in with an agenda of being selfish or stuff like that. It won't pay at the long run. So yeah, so that's my take.
Wow, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Even about to you, what say you?
Okay. On one hand, to an extent, gender roles would play its own part. You understand? Because even when the man is not insisting that the woman should go to the kitchen, she naturally wants to go to the kitchen. She naturally wants to do the things that are expected that a woman should do in a home. That is how she has been raised. That is the understanding she has. And she also believes that when it comes to payment of bills, it is the man's responsibility. However, we live in a world where there is a lot of information out there. We live in a world where, above and beyond what you experience growing up.
Sorry to cut you, Bina, but we have a call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks to the bully. How are you?
Thank God, nice conversation we're having this morning.
You sound really different than how you sounded this morning.
Because it is good when we see bad things, you should just call it out and say it the way it is.
Absolutely.
Because it's my gender. And the women have spoken amazing this morning. They have spoken amazingly well. But I just want to add a couple of things to it. May we not marry the weapon fashioned against us in Jesus' name. That's the prayer point at this time. And you would wonder why men are dropping dead, because it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. This conversation we're having is coming at the heels of a particular program we're having presently on men's mental health. We don't talk much about men in some spaces, but I don't think we do that here on Women Radio. Now, quickly, let me just say this. Even if a man doesn't give you his all during his old days, talk more of this one that actually did his very bit. At least you should step up and do your bit for your family, because they are your family members. And like a mother hawk would do, you should do the needful by protecting your family. Your family, nuclear, extended, your family. You owe it as a woman to actually do that. So how comfortable will you feel eating outside, cleaning your mouth and coming home to disguise or spend as if we are all in this together? Honestly, we are wired in different ways. Now, you said something in your course of discourse. Who actually made provision for the family a stereotype role assigned to men only? There's this question in the Bible, is it 1 Timothy 6:5 or something, that says, if a man does not provide for his house, his works, and an infidel, he has denied the faith.
Yeah.
I think we're only sidelining that. We're not really looking at everything. No man, like Ibn Abbas said, would fold his arms. Some men are like that too, but not majority of them. Even after losing a job, you'd be like, let me just put my hand and see how I will write ruptures on my wife and children. I don't think an intentional man will want to do that, because it's just not possible. He wouldn't fold his arms. But in between, when he's looking for other jobs to do, in between or looking for other things to do, as a woman, just do the needful and see how you can also, complement his efforts. So it's not a gender-based warfare. You say, okay, only the man should do it. Provision is not meant for only the woman. Do your bit. I don't think it is described in any place, constitution, biblical doctrine, that this is this. Only the man should. Women of old also did their bit. That is why we have the virtuous woman in the book of Proverbs 31. Only there is no amount of money my husband would give me. For me, if this resonates with you, I think you should also concur. No money that I will give you, if you reach market, you will not augment it there, right?
100%, yes. Absolutely.
If the reality of prices hits you, you will definitely augment or support that money.
Very true.
To the market. Bottom line, each to its own. Let's learn to do that by ourselves as partners in progress, working for the common goal of making your family unit a better place. If it is bad, it's on you. If it is good, it's on you. It's a collective effort. One hand may do and finish. We all come together. That is why, as the proverbial broom, united we stand, divided we not fall. And the one thing about children we should always remember is that they will never forget. As they grow up, they remember the good or injustice meted out to them. As they grow up, remember growing up, you remember your mother beat you at some point in time, your father coddled you, or your mother coddled you, or your father did some, you will definitely remember, because as you're growing up, those things tend to live with you. So we should learn to do right by ourselves and our partners and not be a weapon fashioned against ourselves. Good morning, everyone. You guys are doing amazing.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ovoli. Thank you so much for that. Love, love, love the perspective. Yeah, every time I go to the market, they add. Like, I don't know one woman who doesn't go to the market and not add money. So you asked your husband to give you 50K and he gave you 50K for market. You already know that 50K cannot reach anywhere. So you're augmenting, and sometimes it's even more than the money that you spend. I think that the issue is, if you believe that this person is my guy, why won't I want to provide for my, like, augment for my guy? And like Ibn Abbas said as well, the fact that children are also involved, like, what are we doing? It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Sorry, Ibn Abbas, you were speaking before Mrs. Oboli called.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know the religion of this person, but if this person is a Christian, I want the person to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, and go and study it, especially verses 10 to 31. Go and study, because in the book, it is written that she is trustworthy and benefits her household. That is the Holy Bible talking to you as a woman. In as much as the Bible says that a man who is not able to take care of his family is worse than an infidel, yes, we all have responsibilities. As much as, yes, there are gender roles, but overall, if you have, please, woman, if you have, do. Because even if you use your money to buy properties all over the place, when you die, they're not going to bury you with the properties. It is still these same children that you are denying this good life that will inherit your properties, except you have left a will that states otherwise. So the proverb, the 31 proverb says also that she works diligently and is economically productive. She cares for the poor and needy. She's strong and wise and respected. See, there is so much that is expected of a wife, of a mother. You're not doing it because somebody will give you accolade or they will go and sing your praises in the community. No, you are doing it because you are a responsible mother. You are a good wife. You are a loving person and caring person to your family. Nobody is saying you shouldn't once in a while give yourself a good treat, but to not make it a regular, that before you come home from work, I mean, you're even doing it hideously. I mean, you know what you are doing. And it is coming from a place of selfishness. And it is so bad. Because news will come out one day that we're doing that to your children. And when they hear it, they will forget the good that you have done. Do you know that it is easier to forget the good than to forget the bad things that you did in the past? People may not remember that, oh, one time she made a pot of soup and dashed my family. But the day you reject them, the day you refuse them, they will remember. I went to her, she said no. So people would rather remember the bad you have done than the good you have done. So as a mother, please, and you have the means, go down, please, whether the man was good or not, don't allow any other person to turn you into somebody you are not. Don't allow any other person to make you do what you wouldn't have done when you are standing on your ground properly. Don't allow anyone to sway you or push you into bad grounds where you know that this thing that you are doing, you're not even proud of what you are doing. Be good. It is good to be good, whether you are taking it for granted or not. I'm not saying you should be stupid. I'm not saying you should be foolish. But wisdom is profitable to the rent. And in this case, she's not applying wisdom. She's applying selfishness. She's applying self-centeredness. And it is totally bad in a family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibn Abo. As we round off, Raquel, what's your final word for the people today? There's a woman who's listening and has been touching her face every time she's supposed to help, in the house for one thing or the other. I know somebody might come and say, but my husband doesn't help me in the kitchen. Today is not that day, right? We can talk about this tomorrow, right? But today is about, because if we see something that is bad, let's say that that thing is bad. Let's not delude ourselves and fool ourselves at the same time. But what's your final word for that woman who is refusing or saying, "Oh, I'm not"? Yeah, this morning. Please go ahead.
Okay, so the concept of marriage is togetherness, regardless or that's why when you're the altar, they say for richer, for
Mm-hmm.
poorer, those kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're not put to test, right, as regards the vow you've made now, and you're not going contrary, you're going against the vow. You've agreed that okay, together for this, and you're not supposed to do that, right? So my one thing I would like to say to every woman out there that is, well, I would say you are scared because I know there's a reason why you're doing it, and I know it's from a place of fear. So, what I would just encourage you is just to don't let your trauma, the society, the situation you find yourself, the setting you find yourself, if you were brought up in that kind of, don't let it, have influence or rub over your marriage, right? Because the concept of marriage is togetherness. You have to be in unity, right? You have to help one another. And the Bible says you are the helpmate, right? Helpmate is that you assist where your husband is lacking, right? So please and please, for the sake of your marriage, for the sake of your children, so that your children don't point fingers and say, mommy, you're a bad person, without them having the full understanding of where you are operating from, right? So please and please try as much as possible to help your husband, regardless of what it might have done to you, because hey, you are in that marriage and your children are also saying things. They are saying things. So you have to play your part. Do your part. Let it not be that, oh, you didn't do anything. Right. So that's my take. Do your best and leave the rest to God. And also pray, and pray. Yeah.
Even about one final word from you before we go.
Okay. When you're in a marriage, you are a team. And what is your responsibility as a teammate? When your fellow teammate is falling down, you make efforts to lift him or her up. You don't further match them, you don't further step on them because they are on the floor or on the ground already. Please and please, do not repay evil with evil. You are not competing in hell. We are on earth already. The world is full of evil already. Don't add your own little evil to it. Be good. It pays to be good. It is beautiful to be good. It is rewarding to be good. Just be good. It doesn't mean you are a fool. It just says a lot about who you are. Thank you.
On that note, we call it a wrap. I really love that. If you have a teammate, you won't kick your teammate while they are on the ground. That just defeats the essence of calling somebody your team member. All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning on today's edition of HerLens. Catch you tomorrow at 9:05 for another edition of HerLens. Ibn Abba, thank you so much. Raquel, thank you so much for joining us.